Hi, so you've captured a video of Saturn or another planet and you want to turn it into a nice, crisp image. I'm going to show you how to do that using just Autostakkert and Gimp. I'll also show you how to use WinJupos to get a bit of extra detail out of a series of captures. Welcome to Deep Sky Detail. Alright, so I'm going to assume that you've got your video files. I've got mine here that I took last night of Saturn using an ASI 294MC camera and Celestron C8 on an Orion Sirius mount. Hopefully, the images are in focus. Quick tip here, if you're having trouble finding focus, first focus on the moon if it's out. It's so much easier, especially if you're using a long focal length with a Barlow. Also, make sure you have a good finder scope that has been lined up really well with a telescope's field of view. It will help a ton when aligning if you're on an equatorial mount. One last thing. A video game controller will save you tons of time controlling your mount with EQ Mod or Indie. Leave a comment if you'd like me to show you these tips in more detail. Okay, back to the video. If you don't have Autostakkert installed, download it and install it. Open it up and you'll see two windows. The first window is where you'll tell Autostakkert what you want it to do. The second is a preview where you'll place your alignment points. So go ahead and click open in the first window. You can select several videos at once, it's fine. The first video will preview in the second window. Select your alignment point size and click on a planet on several spots. You can even click on Saturn's rings. You don't need a ton of points, probably 10 or 15 will be fine for most cases, or even fewer. Then click Analyze. Once that's done, the images from the video will be reordered from best to worst. Check the quality graph in the first window. The green line shows you how quickly the ordered images degrade in quality. Use that in the stack options to determine percentage of frames you'd like to stack. You can put up to 4 options, and Autostakkert will create 4 images in 4 separate folders corresponding to the percentage that is stacked. I'm going to only put in 10 or 20 as I didn't have great seeing and the quality quickly diminishes. I'm also going to check normalize brightness, sharpened, and save in folders. I also want to drizzle a bit, so I'll check 1.5 times drizzle. Then hit stack and it will stack all the videos you initially selected with the settings you chose for your first file. Nice! In the output folders, you'll see that you have 2 files for each stacked video. One is the unsharpened image and the other the sharpened image. Honestly, Autostakkert does an okay job here with the sharpened images, but we can do better in Gimp, I think. So let's eliminate any bad images that didn't stack properly and open the best ones in Gimp. Here I've got one of the images open. The stacking makes things blurry, but the detail is still there. I used to use Registrax to sharpen, but it was kind of slow for me. I can use Gimp to get similar results much more quickly. Let's click Filters, Enhance, and Wavelet Decompose. I'm going to go ahead and create 6 wavelets. Each wavelet contains information. Wavelet 1 contains the smallest details, like the high frequency information, and Wavelet 6 contains the largest or global details, the low frequency information. Wave 1 is mostly noise though. The detail we're interested in is probably in wavelets 2 and 3, but you may need to experiment to see what is right. So let's take wavelet 2 and duplicate it. I use Ctrl-Shift-D to do it in Windows. Then on the duplicated wavelet, I'm going to apply a small Gaussian blur to it. Then I'm going to duplicate the duplicated wavelet several times. Each time I do, the image will get sharper. Don't overdo it though. With my image, I can duplicate about 20 times and still be happy. And I can do the same thing with wavelet 3, except don't duplicate it as much. Probably a good rule of thumb is to duplicate it 1/4 as much as wavelet 2. Already we're getting a pretty nice image. You can duplicate wavelet 4 a bit if you want to. Check it to see if it looks better, and that's how you bring out the detail for one image. You could stop here if you want, but we can combine more of our images in WinJupos if we want to improve it even more. What you'll need to do is repeat the process in GIMP for each of the images you stacked in Autostakkert. Then we'll use WinJupos to stack those stacked images. Download WinJupos and install it if you haven't already. In WinJupos, select Program, Celestial Body, and find the planet you're processing. Then go to Recording, Image Measurement. A new window will pop up, so click Open Image and open one of your sharpened images. Put the date and time the image was taken. The time has to be in Universal Coordinated Time. I am 4 hours behind Coordinated Universal Time, so I have to add 4 hours to each of these measurements. Then click on the Adjust tab. What we need to do is line up the frame of Saturn with the image of Saturn. To do that, we'll use the following hotkeys to move the frame. The arrow keys move the frame around. Page up and page down keys make the frame larger or smaller. N and P rotate the images. Also, Shift, when pressing any of these keys, will allow you to do more fine detailed movements, and Alt will make bigger movements. Try to get the frame aligned as well as you can. Then go back to the Image tab and click Save to save the image measurement. Repeat this process for all your sharpened images. The next step is to derotate and stack them. Click Tools and Derotation of Images. Remove any previous measurements by clicking the Edit Remove All button. Then click Edit to add all the image measurements you took. Choose a directory to save the file. Click Compile Image and it will save in whatever destination directory you chose. You can then open up the new image in GIMP. If you'd like, you can sharpen this new image again, but it won't need as many iterations or duplications of the wavelets layers. Let's compare a single stack with a WinJupos superstack. You can see that WinJupos did a good job cleaning things up a bit. Well, that's today's video. I really wasn't planning on making it, but after getting some okay images of Saturn, I thought I'd share how I do things. I hope this helped, and thanks for watching.